Good afternoon, everybody. It's Sunday, September 24th, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's time for another shop video. And last week we had the big video that I did about the Prospect Medical Holdings ransomware attack that occurred on August 1st of this year. And in this video, I want to talk about both the after effects of ransomware attacks and the defense against ransomware attacks. First off, we're going to discuss the after effects. What a lot of lay people probably don't understand, and this is what ticks me off so bad. When these ransomware attacks happen, the aftermath of these attacks is often at least as brutal, if not more brutal, than the actual attack itself. First off, the organization will have to deal in 99% of cases, they'll have to deal with the consequences of the data that's been exfiltrated from their network. And in the case of Prospect Medical Holdings, there was, I believe, about 2 terabytes of data that was stolen from their network. I don't know what this data consists of, but you can bet on one thing. There will be lawsuits. And notice I said lawsuits. Yeah, that's right. There's most likely going to be more than one. There's always lawsuits in a case like this. They always drag on through the courts, causing aggravation, costing money, and it just goes on can be months, sometimes years after the attack. So just the consequences of the exfiltrated data are no joke. Never mind the reputational damage that exfiltrated data causes. You have organizations that all of a sudden may not want to work with you anymore. If you had cybersecurity insurance, you can probably bet your bottom dollar you're going to be getting a termination letter from your insurance company, because they've decided, to be quite frank, that you're too much of a risk. To be honest, most of your cybersecurity insurance companies are now getting out of the cybersecurity insurance business. And what got that whole thing started was these ransomware attacks. Because people were not getting the defense aspect that is down, which I'm going to get to in a little bit. The other consequence of these ransomware attacks is if the organization that has been victimized has any other issues at all, the ransomware attack has a tendency to magnify those issues and magnify them greatly. To make matters even worse for Prospect Medical Holdings, I think I did mention this to some extent in the last video, they are not in good financial condition. In fact, there was, if you remember in the last video, I mentioned the Yale sale. Yale was going to buy all of Prospect Medical Holdings hospitals. I believe it was Monday of this past week. I get up, I read the paper. What do I see on the front page? hospital sale at risk. Yeah, there are some people that are concerned that Yale is going to back out of the deal. Whether that happens remains to be seen. I can tell you there was an instance, well, at least one instance that I know of, and this was Yahoo. Verizon was looking at buying Yahoo. And I may have done a video talking about this, I'm not sure. And while they were in negotiations to buy Yahoo, Yahoo got breached. They got attacked. And all of the data on all of the accounts they hold was exfiltrated. 3 billion users. Still, this still holds the record for the largest data breach in United States history. Verizon was not happy, to say the least. As soon as it was found out what happened, they're calling up Yahoo and they're saying, look, we want money off and we want it now. They did get money off. I don't remember how much, but they did get money back. There's a possibility that something like that could happen with this Yale sale, or Yale may, in fact, decide that they don't want to take on the legal burdens and the financial burdens, which are about $40 million, as I'm talking about it per the article in the paper, and they may just decide to back out. Who knows? I hope not, because it doesn't look good for Prospect Medical Holdings to survive unless the sale goes through. But with these ransomware attacks, you have to remember, like I said, and this is a perfect example, that the attack will magnify greatly any existing issues that existed prior to the attack. The effects of these attacks and the aftermath of these attacks can last for years. And these ransomware actors think this is flippin' funny. Well, I'm not laughing, and nobody else is. Now let's get to ransomware defense. Ransomware is a bear to defend against because it's very, very hard, because of the way ransomware works, for technological measures to detect it and kill it before the actual encryption happens. And then the second side of that is the ransomware actors, before the ransomware is even activated, they've been in your network stealing your data for potentially months, if not a year or more. And at this point, they know more about your network than even your IT guys do. Isn't that a comforting thought? This is the problem with ransomware, and the defense is very tricky because it's not a technological problem. This is a human problem. And I'm going to explain that in detail right now. You can divide a network into two parts. The first part I call the front door. The front door is all of the networking gear that's in your network closet. That's your modem, that's your router, that's your switches, all of the technological goodies that make your network work. That's the front door. And this is where we put our firewalls and our intrusion detection systems and everything else. But there's one big gaping hole left that we can't take care of at the front door. And this is where we get into what I call the back door. And the back door into your network is your users. Your users are the weakest link in the chain. And your users will be the ones that let some of the worst attackers into your network. And I hate to bring this up, but on occasion, they do it intentionally. In most cases, they do it by accident. But in some cases, yes, there have been rogue users that have done this intentionally. Sometimes because they're paid off. Sometimes because they're upset at the organization. But in probably 95% of cases, this occurs by accident. And what will happen is the user will do things like get on an email, open it up. They get an email that purports to be from their boss with an attachment in it that says open it up, but they weren't expecting it. They open up that attachment and it's not what they think it is. It's a Trojan horse that installs malicious tools that attackers will use to get inside your network. Right through your firewall, right through all of your technological protections that we put at the front door, and they've slipped right in through the back. Now, I hope at this point that you have an intrusion detection system at the front door that will detect the suspicious activity that will be going on inside this network and will alert you, and you'll go look at what's going on and you'll say, hey, what's going on here, and get the guy out of your network before they can do further damage. But the back door is not a joke. And the only way to stop the back door is user training, user training, user training. They have to be trained that when they see, first rule is you don't click on anything ever unless you know what it is, where it came from, who sent it, and what it's going to do to your device when you get there. If you are not sure, you ask your IT department, or you call me and you ask me if this sounds okay to click on. 99% of the time, I'm going to tell you no. I'm going to tell you to leave it alone. If I have the remote access and software installed on your machine, I will go look at it myself. But 99% of the time, people that are calling me and asking me that question, don't click it. Leave it alone. Second rule, you see strange phone numbers come up on your screen or strange robocalls. Don't engage with them. That's the best way to get bit by social engineering, and other types of scam attacks. If you're at a tech support scam page, and I've talked about these 1,000 times, if you're at a tech support scam page and you need help getting out of it, talk to me. I'll come and help you get out of it. Rule number 3. Strange email comes in. You're not sure what to do and you're tied up with 1,000 things. Your first inclination is going to be to click on that strange email and do what you're not supposed to do just so you can get it out of the way. Don't do this. There's a set of items that I abbreviate STV. STV stands for Stop, Think, Verify. This is what it means. Stop. Stop everything that you're doing at that moment. If you're on the phone, get off. If you're in a Zoom meeting, get out of it. I don't care how important it is. Get out of it. Stop everything that you're doing. You have a cyber emergency that you need to deal with right now, and that's where your focus has to be, nowhere else. Then I want you to look at what's on the screen. The strange email, communication, whatever. And I want you to think. And I want you to think hard. Would my boss be asking me to send a whole bunch of W-2 forms to this weird guy that I've never had communication with? And yes, this has really happened. Does this look right? Does this email look right? Read it over real good. I see spelling errors here. Matt always said to ask questions. What's going on here? And then verify the communication. If the communication came by email from somebody, do not reply back to that email because there's a high chance that the email account could have been hacked and you'll just be tipping off an attacker. Pick up the phone, call that person. If it's a strange phone call, again, hang up and then call the person back at a known good phone number and verify what just came over the phone. Chances are you're going to find out it was a scam and you're going to be the employee of the month because you just averted a brutal cyber attack. Good for you. Number 4, we have AI, unfortunately now. One of the problems with AI is that we can clone people's voices. All you need is about 3 seconds of somebody talking and you can clone their voice using artificial intelligence. Oh, great. This means you have to be hyper vigilant and always practice STV all the time, no matter what. Number 5, I think I've said this before. You can call me to clean up after a ransomware attack and I will come help you. But my life is going to be very difficult at that point because there's a lot of damage that's been done. Also, do not count on your endpoint protection, aka antivirus, to save you. Ransomware, I've talked about this before, but ransomware works the opposite of normal malware. In normal malware, you have the malware and then you have what we call the payload. Usually the malware runs first, the payload gets dropped later. In ransomware, the payload gets dropped first. The payload is the encryption of your files. And then after that is completed, then the malware part of the ransomware runs, and it's at that point that the antivirus goes, whoop, something's wrong here, I'm gonna go off. And the antivirus trips off. Well, guess what, people? It's too late. The payload's been dropped. The damage has been done. Yeah. It's not going to be pretty. Number 2, very early on in this ransomware game, ransomware was not aware of backup files. Ransomware encrypts files by whatever the extension of the file is. In other words, whether it's doc, docx, exe, jpg, mp3, etc. And they weren't aware of the specific file extensions that backup programs use. Oftentimes, ransomware left those files alone. That is no longer the case. A lot of ransomware is now backup extension aware. Therefore, the ransomware may very well encrypt your backups. Oops. This is why you have to keep one set of backups offline. And I know it's going to be rough to keep them updated because you're going to have to do some manual work. And I find that when manual work has to be done, that often means that what's supposed to get done doesn't get done. But you have to make sure that these offline backups are occasionally updated. I would probably update them weekly. And make sure that they're kept offline at other times so we have them. But then we have to deal with the data extortion problem. So even if you have good backups, we still have to deal with that. And if you have good backups, we still have to deal with the fact that there may be malware contamination. In fact, there probably is malware contamination inside those backups. So we have to be aware of that as well. Number 6 is we have to make sure that your network is patched and all your Windows machines and network devices are running the most up-to-date versions of software on the network at all times. And if you have trouble doing this, if your IT is overwhelmed, or if you're a smaller business and don't have IT at all, please reach out to me. I'll be more than glad to come and give you a hand. It's so important to keep everything up to date. Well, I think that's going to be it for this video. If you have any questions, please drop a comment. As always, please rate, comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see everyone next time. See you all soon. Bye-bye.